Hello, this channel Creative Life. If you think that such empty cities as Pripyat on our planet is very small, then you are cruelly mistaken. Far from just explosions that nuclear power plants can force all residents to leave their homes, today I'll tell you about the 5 most incredible ghost cities except Pripyat, because you all know about it. Okay, let's go. Start with Gankudзума. What is on N7 of one of the abandoned islands of Japan. The city became a ghost is not at all because of a catastrophe or deadly diseases, but nevertheless he also let down. How did this happen? The fact is that the city began to be built only because of the fact that on this island found the workers had too many of them had somewhere to place, because the company Mitsubishi in which we extracted the coal began to erect these buildings. 30 years of the 20th century the island became a serious industrial center. In addition to the mines, there were military plants in the flow of 50 liters. Gankudзума was one of the most densely populated places on Earth. 5,259 people per square kilometer. In a decade, a prosperous coal mining fell into decay. In 1974, Mitsubishi completely closed the mines. In a few weeks, the most populous ever place on Earth was completely empty. All the inhabitants left the island, and I will introduce the expired fossil. And Gankudзуma has turned into a ghost town today. Free walking around the city is strictly prohibited for several reasons. One of them is that the houses have become shaky and in disrepair. Tourists are only allowed in specially equipped for safe stay of the city. Gankudзуma is not the first city turned into a ghost because of the cessation of mining of minerals. For example, in Chile there are at least 2 such cities. Is a Humberstone that is in the middle of the desert, and Sewall built high in the Andes. Here many buildings were built of wood and even today preserved the remains of a bright paint. Lived 14,000 people in the 70s. The reserves of local copper mine have run out and its citizens have run out of income, and that's why the mass resettlement of the city has completely started. I'm out here today. Only tourists. In Russia there are also such abandoned mining towns, and there are quite a few of them. For example, the pyramid received its name because of the pyramidal shape of the mountain at the foot of which it was founded 40 years ago. Here it is harder for more than 1,000 people, and they could constantly admire the stunning views, but the mine was closed and all people left. Kadikshan is one of many small settlements which, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, began to devastate quickly. Since 2000 did not turn into a ghost town after the accident in the mid-90s. At a mine near the last people from the city they began to evict, giving them 80 to 120,000 rubles. For relocation in 2001, the houses were saved by cutting them off from the heat of electricity. And another city in Chukotka, which is also unlucky to become a victim of the closure of the mine because of unprofitability. In almost 5 years, all 5,000 residents left from here, turning this place into a ghost town on the very edge of the world. Look at this picture. It's hard to believe, but it would seem that a modern and nice-looking city absolutely does not have a single inhabitant. This place reminds Silent Hill with not a single living soul. All 14,000 inhabitants left this town in such a hurry that many here even left their cars and stores, left untouched products, and even marauders behind all this were afraid to come here. Within this city there were many large households, and as a consequence of large domestic animals, and all of them were shot on the spot to take them with them. There was nothing that could force people to flee from such a nice place. The second Chernobyl response. On March 12, 2011, an accident at the nuclear power plant of Fukushima 1 forced the Japanese government to immediately evacuate all people living near the NP in the danger zone. Was a populated area of Tanioka, which you now see. In 2017 some residents tried to return to their homes. And this impressive monument is Cammona Crocco in Italy. It was abandoned by people after the next earthquake. Is now used only by filmmakers and vagabonds. This area is called Verosha. Once it was a wonderful resort place in Cyprus, and now it's a ghost town. In 1974 there was a military coup and the local population had to leave their homes. Since then no one lives today. The building is already being destroyed under the influence of nature, so as there is no one to serve them. That's all. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Put like below at this video.